Well, it's been a landmark week in the e-mountain bike world, that's for sure, with the launch of the all-new Levo SL. Lower power, low weight, more agility. On today's EMBN show, we're going to be talking to some of the people behind this bike, a bike which really has changed the landscape of e-mountain biking. So our story of the Levo SL is up on the channel now. We've been out here in South Africa riding the bike. We've been riding it against the Levo as well, and also the Stump Jumper, which is a non-e-bike. I'm going to go and catch up with some of the people who are actually pivotal with this bike and also who are part of the whole history of Specialized e-mountain bikes. Well, I'm sure you guys recognize Marco Sonderegger from Specialized. We did a video together recently on the future of e-mountain bikes, and we talked about lightweight e-bikes. And here we are in South Africa, only a few months later, and we have a Levo SL weighing in about 16 to 17 kilograms.
That's about right, yes.
Marco, this is putting people under spectacular pressure to make a decision on what bike to buy. I mean, surely, what we have here is a Levo SL. It's actually got the battery out of it, right?
Yeah.
Got the battery out of it. It's got a motor on there, which is 1.8 kilograms. Now, I'm picking this up, and it is like, why on earth would you buy a Stump Jumper, which is about 13, 14 kilos, when you can get this without the battery of 15 kilos?
That's a very good question why you should buy a Stump Jumper. However, I still believe there might be some riders out there who want that pureness, the absolute sweat and heart rate pumping, and are okay riding one trail instead of two.
Sorry to interrupt, but that's the whole thing about this. It's a great training tool because you've got the app which you can set your heart rate to.
You could, yes. You can actually, in Mission Control app, select a certain heart rate you want to be at, and the bike keeps you right at that level. So yes, It's a great training tool too.
Joe, weight's always been a bit of a stumbling block with e-bikes. People's perception is, oh, it's heavy, so you shouldn't buy one and people should wait. But I guess this bike changes all that, right?
For sure, yeah. It's something we thought about when we were first launching the Levo, right? It's like, we love the power, but how can we make the bike more nimble? And weight's kind of fallen into the background for a while. It used to be something we focused on a lot in the past, but that is one of the biggest drivers in how this bike handles.
Yeah, so. And I guess people who've been mountain bikers for years, it's something that they've been brought up with, that weight gives you an advantage. So it's inbuilt, isn't it? It's an inbuilt thing.
Yeah, for sure. And you take a lot of weight away, and the motor requirements and battery requirements become different for the same amount of range. Yeah. It's
funny, isn't it? Because you're only looking at 2004, 2005, there was the Specialized Enduro, which changed a lot of things in terms of long travel bikes. And that bike was, I think it was about 34 pounds, which this SL it's not far off 34 pounds, right?
About 4 pounds heavier than that, yeah.
Yeah, which is hardly anything. Where does this bike stand? It's as a gateway bike, does it bridge the gap between those who want to, not quite prepared to jump ship?
You say jump ship to a full power, say Levo.
Yeah, right? or to an e-mountain bike.
Yeah. I think that's what we're anticipating. Yeah, for sure. It hopefully pulls in the rider who would love to have a little extra assistance, but they really enjoy that light, nimble feel of their traditional pedal bike, and they're not ready to give that up. And this would be the next logical choice.
Yeah. Jan, what have you done? A whole new e-bike discipline.
We mix it up again. Just like a couple more spices to the game.
It's quite funny is that you told me that 10 years ago, before the Levo existed, you guys were based in Morgan Hill, California then, and you actually wanted a e-bike that could emulate a elite level athlete, right?
It was 2010. We had no clue about e-bikes or anything, but we had that vision of how much power do you actually need. Like in the very, very beginning, we didn't go shopping. We what is the amount of power we want, and then build a super lightweight, nimble bike around it. So in 2010, we had prototypes with a 150 watt rear hub motor.
Yeah.
And just didn't have the tools or the resources to pull it off. So we ended up actually doing the Turbo S on-road first, but the vision goes all the way back to 2010.
Yeah. So I guess that lightweight, low-power motor was pushed aside back 10 years ago, and you focused on the Levo, right? And then you built the Levo.
You have to earn your position to actually build something like a Levo SL with our very own motor, very own battery and display and connector and all that. You don't do that from scratch, out of nothing. I mean, you have to understand where we're coming from. We're a company focusing on composite and suspension and all that. It took us 10 years to find the right people, learn the technology and all that.
That's what I was going to say, actually. It must have been quite a story finding a manufacturer to make that motor.
That's part of it, yes. Yeah. I mean, and that's the important one. A motor is that thing that spins around. Yeah. There's a gazillion of companies making motors. Yeah. But if you actually take, call it drive unit, if you open it, you will find that little motor that spins around. You will find sensors, you will find gearboxes, a motor controller, bearings, freewheels, a shaft, an axle with an enclosure. And that's up to 10 disciplines. And finding partners that can juggle those 10 disciplines and manufacture them in volume, that's hard. That's really, really hard.
I think, Dom, you know, I've seen the people press from all over the world here. They range from 50 kilos up to, I've seen a guy probably near 120 kilos. And they're going to have different ideas about the Levo SL, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Different experiences.
Absolutely, and Levo SL is not the bike for everybody. I had journalists coming back like, I'm a Levo rider, and the other one was Levo SL, this is it, this is going to be my one bike. But that's exactly it. Levo SL isn't the successor of a Levo.
No. Yeah.
We are enlarging the portfolio because we were seeing there was a miss in the market for a certain rider.
Yeah.
And this is what it is.
And also, I think maybe climate definitely comes into the equation where you live. You know, if you live in a super muddy country, then you probably need a bit more of that poke from the Levo to get through the sludge. Whereas if you out here in South Africa, we've been riding pretty much concrete trails, right?
Exactly.
So the Levo SL out here is absolutely dynamite, right? So,
yeah, we're definitely expecting geographical differences in sales success of the one family versus the other.
Yeah, but I guess no matter whether you choose the Levo or the Levo SL, the good thing to know is you'll get the same range out of both bikes, right?
Exactly, that's the important thing. That's why we also strongly on the marketing side talk about riding hours.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of riding hours for the rider, just in a different experience. Whether you want it powerful or blended, or light and nimble.
But the more and more people like Specialized subcategorize e-bikes, that probably dilutes the non-e-bike sales, right?
Yeah, though I have to say we're keen on not slicing it up too narrow.
Dom, you said that a few years ago.
No, but what we're always after, Steve, is really if we're seeing there is a way to better serve a certain kind of rider, we're gonna do it. And we clearly saw that, and that's why we did it. But you know, as you said it with weight of the Stumpy versus the Levo SL now, that there's a certain threshold to where you can get, but think about 5 years out, there's a lot you can do around experience features, about the personalization between you and your bike, you know, things like we are already driving on the mission control side. There's still a lot of room to develop on.
Dom, I've been thinking about this quite a lot. If I was buying a mountain bike now, whether it be a mountain bike or an e-bike, because you've got the Kenevo and you've got the Levo and you've got the Levo SL, I think it's critical to go on a demo day to make that choice. So my question is, have you guys got these demo days lined up worldwide?
Yes, demo is super key. You know, the one thing is reading the numbers, reviewing the articles and stuff.
And reviews are pretty, you know, varied.
But feeling what does those 200 watts feel, or what does the 17 kilograms of a Levo SL feel on the trail versus the 20 kilograms and the 560 watts on the Levo. You need to test it, and the answer is yes. We've lined up a strong demo program worldwide, whether it's on our own Specialized days, or also, you know, on all the key e-festivals, test events. We'll be there, and we'll have a strong fleet so that the riders can make their decision.
Nice one, Dom.
Wow, that new Levo SL looks absolutely amazing. Cannot wait to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah, definitely is going to bridge the gap between eMTB and eMTB. And you might see a few of those riders coming over to eMTB.
Definitely, I hope so. But another bike news, we've got YT have just launched 2 models of their new Decoy as well. So that traditionally was available in just a mullet bike, so you had 27.5 in the rear, 29 are up front, but they've got the new model which has 29-inch wheels front and rear. 2 different models, the base and the pro. Now the base model comes in at just under £4,000. It's got a custom 540 watt-hour battery on there. Shimano E8000 motor. It weighs in at 24.3 kilos. It looks like an absolute bargain at that price. You know, good smattering of components from Rock Shocks, Shimano, you name it, it's on that bike. But there is one above, and that is the pro one.
That is the pro race one, yes. Now this one comes in at 4,999. It is 1.2 kilos, a little bit lighter than the base model. It comes with a better suspension setup, more refined componentry on there. But definitely a good way of, you know, a good budget between the two.
Yeah, 2 good-looking bikes at some really good prices.
Coming up on the channel this week, we've got some rad content coming through for you guys to be watching. Now, Friday is all about e-bikes and your fitness, what you can do. Now, Steve Jones and some guy in the gym show you all about this.
Nice. And on Sunday, we've got e-bike versus uplift. Now, this was at Revolution Bike Park. Myself versus a smoky Land Rover full of bikes up the hill. Is a race up and downhill. So
looking forward to Sunday.
One. Yeah, Sunday's going to be a banger.
So you guys have been pretty proactive in the comments this week over some videos. Now, one interesting one was tire choice and how it can affect the range on your e-bike. Steve Jones did a very interesting one, and you guys came up with some great comments.
Yeah, Dave Webster's been getting involved. He says there is only one tire above all else that affects range, and that's the one around your belly.
Oh.
Now, of course, it does make a massive difference, I think, on range, weight of you. You know, it makes a big difference as well as power modes and different things like that. But definitely weight is a big one.
Why would you have tyres around your waist? Is that like a new belt?
You know, if you're riding a bit of e-bike, eat
Oh,
a few
too
too
many
many pies, too many pints.
I get you. I knew it. I was just kidding.
And then GMH 64778.
Wow, what a name.
Yeah, he says they weren't only better on the battery, they were faster everywhere, even on wet routes and mud. Proves to me that most riders are running way too aggressive tyres on both e-mountain bikes and mountain bikes where they actually ride. Now, I kind of agree with that. I think we see a lot of these e-mountain bikes run big, heavy downhill tyres, but these guys are just riding cross-country trails, so it does make a huge difference, as Steve's shown, you know, the range that you're going to get out and the energy that it takes to move those bikes along the trail.
Yeah. I can relate to this because if on a non-e-bike, like a normal conventional mountain bike, if I were to put downhill tires on my cross-country bike, the more power that I'll be using in myself to get my bike and body propelling down the trail, it's going to lower my energy levels. So it's going to do the same with your battery.
Exactly. I think you can even, you know, on some of my bikes, I run the Assegai tyres, and that thing going down the road sounds like a Land Rover, you know, so knobbly, so sticky compound. Then I've got cross marks on my other bike, and that thing just literally can roll so much faster, less energy, and a lot more range. So yeah, definitely makes sense.
Do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for WITW.
WITW?
Where in the world, man?
Oh, okay.
Where in the world?
Well, first up, Lee has been out on his Levo learning manuals. He's been watching the how-to, where we taught you guys how to manual, putting them into good place out on the trails in Shropshire.
Oh, look at this. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Nice, yeah.
Oh, you know, manual e-bike's pretty hard.
It is pretty hardcore.
Takes some practice.
Now, this one, bike packing. Now, you've done a bit of this around the Isle of Wight, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
How was that?
That was amazing.
I think on an e-bike it'd be pretty cool.
Oh, you'd get round in no time at all. I don't think you need to take a 10.
Well, Simon's been out doing exactly that. He's been out on a 55k ride around the Rimatuka Trail on his Powerfly, fully loaded up with kit. He's got the tent on there, the Toe Peak bike tent. Then rode back to Wellington, you know, stayed overnight. Looks like an epic one.
I feel like you could get a lot more on your bike. So you could potentially carry some alcoholic beverages if you needed to, whereas I didn't.
Yeah, I imagine on the e-bike you can't even feel the weight. And then when I stick my one of my kids on the front, you don't even notice the weight of them. So imagine how many cans of beer you could take along.
This one's pretty cool because I'd love to go to Utah. Now this is Tyler riding out in the snow in Utah with his trail dog. Now that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, does it? Snow, e-bikes, and a trail dog.
Oh,
nice.
The dream.
But don't forget, we love seeing what you guys get up to all over the world on your e-bikes. If you want to get involved in the show, use the upload service for all your content, and it could be you on next week's show. Right, it's time for a little bit of Ghetto Tech, Blake, and I've got this one ready.
Yeah, because when it comes to e-bike Ghetto Tech, I don't have a clue, man.
Now, it's a bit of a mix of Ghetto and a bit of forward thinking. First up, the Ghetto part of this is from Stian, and he's made a Ghetto stand for his e-bike, but it doesn't just stop there. He's got pretty creative with this bike. He's swapped the fork to a Mazzocchi 58 and added a 29 front wheel to it, so it kind of makes it a mullet bike. He's extended the rotor size on the front. He's gone to a 223mm rotor on the front, so it's got some powerful brakes. Wow. But one thing that he has done on this bike is something pretty cool. Now, he's got creative with the cranks.
Yeah.
Now, traditionally, obviously, you run e-bike cranks, but he's swapped his cranks to unicycle cranks.
Unicycle cranks.
Yeah, so it sounds pretty crazy, doesn't it? But obviously, they're available in ISIS fitment, so they're going to fit straight on the bottom bracket.
Yeah.
I looked into it a bit more, and these cranks come in all different sizes, loads of different increments from, I think, like super short, like 75mm.
75mm cranks.
To 155.
Wow.
But the best thing about these cranks are they're super strong. They come in at 40 quid. So these cranks look, if you're looking for replacement cranks on your e-bikes, now these could be a good option.
I am.
For sure, check it out.
It's time for the bike vault, and yes, you guys have been asking for super nice and nice.
So we're going to go back old school
Should
with
we
this
bring
one.
it back old school? But I think we should still stick with
Bike of the week. Keep
Bike of
Steve
the week.
Jones happy.
Keep him happy, yeah.
But we're going to go super nice and nice
It's a
with
bit
this one.
grumpy.
It's kicking things off. This is Darren. Now, I've been there.
I've been there. Corfe Castle.
Corfe
There you go. I
Castle.
thought we were going to say it in tandem then. That'd be amazing.
But in the summer, he's out on his high bike extra at All Mountain.
No, that's super nice, eh?
Going to go in straight with the super nice.
Yeah, what's that with a stand? Is that an actual stand on there?
Yeah,
Was that
it's
like one of
it's
those
got a kickstand on there.
kickstand? That's pretty nice.
We're going to give that one then. Get on the pumps.
Super nice,
Wow,
yeah.
sounds good. Get back into it.
Look at the cube.
It's got to be Devon with those red cliffs.
It does, doesn't it? It is Devon and
is.
it's an X-Small.
This is Wes with his Cube Stereo Hybrid 140.
Now look at the colour. That is just super nice.
22-mile trip round the Xmas cycle path.
I think that's super nice.
Gonna go with super nice again.
Super
Giving
nice.
them away.
Yeah, super nice.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
So Richard with his Frey M600.
Now that looks like Vancouver to me.
It is.
It
North
is.
Van.
Oh, wow, look at
We're
that.
getting it. We're getting these
No, our
locations
geography,
dialed.
don't we, by our trees?
Recently upgraded it. He's got a new carbon bar on there, and he's just been out shredding the trails. What do you think about this?
I think that's super nice to me too, dude.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see too many Freys as well, so good to see them on the channel. Whoa.
Whoa.
Adam, he's got his Commento Metapower SX. He's out in Macclesfield Forest, out testing the Vorsprung Smash Pot on the 2020
Smashing
Lyric.
pots. What,
He's obviously modded his fork.
It has, yeah. So we could give that a super nice, but it's not drive side. We're going to be like scrutineering it.
And kind of that bench.
The bench.
Just wheel it along like a bike length, and then you can have that big back.
Nice.
It is nice.
It's a great bike, though.
It looks good. Well,
Talking about YT in the news, look at that YT
Yeah.
Decoy there, dude.
nice, isn't it?
That
So
is
he's in
nice.
Ringwood State Park, New Jersey.
Now
It's
that's
from Manny.
still not drive side, but he's nice.
First snow ride as well. It's all about riding your e-bike in the snow. If you
is.
haven't experienced it, you got to do
gotta
it this
do
year
it.
if it snows.
Nice.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm a big fan of Focus bikes, and now the tan walls on a black bike and the trail leading up and the end, that just gives
Yeah.
me a beautiful. Now that looks like Australia to me.
It is Australia.
It is Australia.
New South
Wow,
Wales.
look at that. Super nice.
Saalbach. Yeah, it's got to be Christmas.
Yeah.
Nice. Super nice.
What
Well,
the hell is
Some
that?
home build going on. Bit of checker plate. Actually pretty... Getting kind of into my home builds and stuff at the
Oh
minute. so-
yeah, look at that though.
So this is from Dave. He's got a Marin Muirwoods.
Do you know, I'm a bit concerned with the chain. Look at the chain line on the front sprocket. It doesn't even
Oh,
go
yeah,
on
it's
it. It
kinda
looks like
just
it goes
touching
with
a couple of
small.
teeth.
It does not even go in there.
It's pretty random, isn't it? But he's been super creative with his home
Oh,
build.
I
He's
can
out in
see how that engine works
Hamilton,
now.
New Zealand.
That's nice.
It's got a top speed of 65 kilometers an hour.
Oh,
65 kph
Blimey,
as well.
is that nice or super nice for you? I think
nice.
It's nice.
What are we going to go for the bike of the week then? We've got so many good entries
Do you know
this
what?
week.
I like the. I like that Focus.
You like the Focus?
It was in focus with what they were trying to
Focus
shoot.
in focus in the Focus.
Yeah. What do you think?
Nah,
It's up
quite
to
liking
you.
that cube. I think
cube
you know
is
Wes's
nice.
cube looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Redcliffe's kind of really set it off.
It's up to you, Chris.
Give it the big one for Wes with his cube stereo then. Bike of the week, nice
Bike
one.
of the week.
Give
Take
it
a
a big
look
one
at
on the
that.
pump as well. Remember?
Big one. Double pumper.
Double pumping.
Chris, that is the end of the show. All good things do need to come to an end. And yeah, thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for joining us on this week's EMBN show, because It's been a hoot.
Yeah, it's been cool. But if you guys want to stick around and check out the Levo SL in a bit more depth, check out this video that Steve's done on the bike launch out in South Africa. It's absolutely amazing looking bike. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Drop some comments in the box below. And don't forget to subscribe to EMBN by clicking the globe in the middle of the screen. And we shall see you next week.
See ya.
Cheers.